All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. It's time to step into the Colts Corner as we discuss the offseason moves of the organization. The schedule was released, so it's time to give our initial reaction and answer the yearly question of whether the league hates the Colts or forgets them. So let's go all in Colts.
That's correct. I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. Live and in person, we're the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Yep. Before we jump in, though.
It happens.
Yeah.
We're out of practice. We'll come back and it'll be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we jump back into Colts talk.
Yep.
Got to shout out the other Indiana team. Congrats to the Pacers making back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals.
That is correct.
They are even better than they were last year.
It seems so.
And tonight, not only was the schedule released, but the Pacers were given more time for rest because the Celtics pulled out a win against the Knicks.
Yep.
Without Jason Tatum, mind you.
So my question is, who would you rather the Colts play in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Colts.
Whoa. Sorry, my bad. Who would you rather? I'm in mode. Who would you rather the Pacers play in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Considering Tatum went down, Celtics.
Okay.
I was that way beforehand, but that just makes it more because the Knicks, I think we could beat either team. I think the Pacers can beat either team, but I think it's a lot easier to beat the Celtics. It was kind of like one of those things where we beat the Cavs in the regular season series, so I'm like, okay, cool, we can beat them.
Yep.
Same type of thing. We lost to the Knicks in the regular season series, but I mean, regular season is not playoffs. But then again, I don't know, because on one side you have the Celtics, who are a pretty deep team, have a lot of talented players.
Can shoot the three.
Can shoot.
Can also miss the three a lot.
Exactly. all this, and it's kind of like Celtics are kind of like up in the air with everything.
Yeah. Okay.
And it comes out, but the Knicks don't have that deep of a team. They have 7 or 8 guys that they play constantly.
Yep.
And so injuries will wear them down. It's just a matter of if you can get to the point where it starts wearing them down.
I gotcha.
So
yeah, I think MSG is a scary place, especially when you there's a certain nostalgia that I have that I lived through that you didn't, that makes me want to go, let's go Hicks versus Knicks and let's see what happens. But MSG is so scary, and you have one of the greatest and not in a good way, foul baiters of all time in Brunson. And the refs are influenced by the crowd, and as if you haven't heard enough or haven't heard so little about the Pacers thus far, you definitely will hear it from a completely New York standpoint from all of the media, including the actual unbiased announcers on the game. So I think you're right that the easier path will be a rematch.
Of these,
even though it was a sweep, they were in all but one of those games, including overtime. So, and one. So, anyway,
the difference is last year we couldn't close out games. This year we've closed out games really well.
Yeah,
or I should say, Halliburton has closed out games.
Yes, yes. So the schedule is upon us.
Yes.
One Colts fan asked why this is such a big deal. We already know the opponents when these games, but here's the deal. When these games happen, makes a big deal in how they can go down.
Yep.
Especially when the Colts have 3 West Coast trips and an international home game this season.
Yes. Plus, for us in Texas, we can plan for a potential trip to Houston to see our beloved team play in person.
Yes, haven't done that in a couple of years.
Yep.
Here's the big picture, okay? The Colts start the season in groupings of 2. 2 home games, 2 road games, 2 home games.
Yep. The next four
There you go.
include West Coast and international trips with only 1 true home game.
Yes, the bye will come after that international trip before the most difficult stretch of the schedule, as the final 7 games involve the Super Bowl losers.
Yep.
4 total divisional games, the last West Coast trip, and the most comeback-ready disappointment from last season, my other team, the Niners, on Monday Night Football.
Yes. After 3 years straight of a front-loaded division schedule,
Yep.
the NFL decided to sprinkle those games in a little more.
A little
But
bit.
it is mostly at the end of the year, as the Colts don't play Houston or the Jaguars until weeks 13 and 14, respectively. Or maybe I should say disrespectfully.
Yes, I think you should. Not a word, but we just made it a word. You're welcome. So now it's time to go through the schedule game by game.
Yes.
And before we do that, I need to know, do you want to make predictions now? Do you want to make way too early predictions now, or do you want to just go through the schedule and we'll save our predictions, because we'll do this probably we'll do this at least one more time right before the season starts. Do you want to do it right now?
I say we just run through the schedule.
All right.
Just because, so we don't have too many predictions up in the air and stuff like that.
Sounds good. There are way too many things that can happen between now and the start of the season. All right. Okay.
Trey Hendrickson is still out there.
He is. I mean, another 31-year-old in the last year of his contract did get signed
To an extension, yeah.
but it wasn't him.
No.
It was Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then again, Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry.
He is an ageless wonder at running back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you start us off? Game number 1.
Game number 1, home opener.
Yep.
Week 1 home opener. Dolphins. It's a 3rd straight year of week 1 home openers.
Yep.
They have not won a season opener since 2013 with Andrew Luck. I know it feels like ages ago. That was 12 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's like season opener, period. They have not
just home openers.
Right. The last
one they did was at home last year, 16-10 Grant Stewart game.
Oh, the Grant Stewart 18-19 tackle game.
Yep.
He's not with us anymore. The next one, second, as we said, 2-2-2, Broncos game at home, the Manning battle, the Manning Bowl. The Colts are 5-4 versus the Broncos since Manning left the Colts.
Yep. Then it goes into the other 2 portion of away games.
Yep.
At the Titans, Lou Anarumo versus Brian Callahan. 5 seasons together with the Bengals.
Yep.
Colts have also won 4 straight after a 5-game losing streak.
Against the Titans.
The Titans specifically.
And then second road game at the Rams, first West Coast trip of the season. The Rams have won the last 4 meetings. And a little trivia fact for you. You ready? The Indianapolis Colts have never beat the Los Angeles Rams.
I'm assuming Los Angeles was put in there for a reason, because they have
Indianapolis, yes,
because they have beat the
St. Louis Rams, yes, and the Baltimore Colts did beat the Los Angeles Rams
back when they were before.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
Now it's time for the other 2 portion.
Yep.
At home versus the Raiders. Last season was the first season in 6 seasons.
Yeah.
The Colts did not play the Raiders. The Colts were 4-2 during that time, though.
Yes. That was but those 2 losses were pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs was
21.
Yeah.
Raiders, and then the disaster in Duval to kill the playoff chances.
Right.
So those 2 were pretty big. And then the last of this 2-2-2 stretch, the Cardinals at home. Marvin Harrison Jr. returns to Indy, and Shane Steichen versus Jonathan Gannon, the OC and DC from the Eagles Super Bowl losing team in 22. And another trivia for you. You ready?
Okay.
These are the 2 places that were linked to land the Colts from Baltimore.
Oh.
Arizona and Indianapolis. What set Indianapolis ahead is the fact that they already built a stadium, even though they didn't have a team. Little plug for the move on the series. It's like a 4-part podcast series from JJ Stankovitz on the Colts channel.
Yep. Next, they are in LA to play Chargers. Khalil Herbert returns to LA, and the Colts versus Jim Harbaugh. So a little return for Jim there.
Yep.
The Colts are 1-0 versus Coach Harbaugh.
Yep. That was back when he coached the Niners.
Yes, that is.
And then the second game against the Titans, this one at home. Nothing more to mention that we haven't already. That one?
Then it's in Pittsburgh. The Colts have won the last 2 after losing the previous 8 in a row. So ever since I have been a diehard Colts fan, the Colts have won against the Steelers.
Okay, all right. And ever since we've done
we've done the podcast, because before then I was kind of a fan. You know, they were my team. I wasn't diehard though.
Yeah, but you loved you with some Andrew Luck for sure.
Oh yes,
and some
Ty.
Yeah. Whose son is now going to Wisconsin, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he wide receiver?
He's a running back. He might be a receiver. I don't know.
Makes sense. Either or makes sense.
Yeah. I side note, I hate the Steelers.
Yeah. This is true.
My second least favorite team.
Yes. First being the Patriots.
And then week 10, Falcons in Germany. So it's a home game because the Colts own Germany, and because Austria is the home of Bernard Reimann, and the Colts have had a few other German players, including Bjorn. I forget his last name. It's killing me now. He basically he does the Bromance podcast and kind of show that's sort of the German version of the Pat McAfee show in Germany, and it's a legendary stadium. It hosted the 1936 Olympics. We've talked about that before. We'll talk about it again as it comes up. But legendary stadium. Jesse Owens ran there in the Olympics. Pretty crazy. All right. And then they go in the bye week, of course, after the international game. Pretty standard operation, unless you're the Jaguars.
Right. Then they play in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Stole that from Florida State, by the way. Can the Colts continue to be the only regular season undefeated team against Patrick Mahomes, Spencer Schrader, and Travarius Ward versus their old teams?
Yep.
Travarius Ward twice removed.
Yep.
Once removed.
Yep.
Because he played with the Niners
in between there,
and then
he was undrafted,
right,
by the Cowboys.
Cowboys,
Yep. And then Houston comes to town, which means it is EJ Speed's return to Indianapolis.
I am wondering how the fans are going to treat him, whether they're going to boo him or applaud him.
I don't know if it'll matter because I think he's going to be a backup.
If I were there, I would boo him because he did not tackle for us, even though that's his job. Next game, though.
Yep.
In Seattle, another West Coast.
Nope. You skipped one.
I did skip one. My bad.
All right.
In Duval.
Yes.
They have not won there since 2014. Once again with Andrew Luck.
Yep.
A lot of this comes back to Andrew Luck.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I've been trying to figure out what the source of this is. I think it's some sort of mix of Pat McAfee and Gus Bradley, because Gus Bradley was the coach.
If this is another Kevin's conspiracies, I'm shutting it down right now because this is not the segment for that.
I'm just trying to figure it out. There will be a Kevin's conspiracies. I'm still trying to map this thing out and get to the bottom of it before I reveal it. Okay? All right. After that, it's the final West Coast road trip. Couldn't put them back to back. That's what I was hoping for. Make it let's do like a NBA style thing and make it a road trip. stay out there, less travel on the team.
Right.
You got to find a practice facility, but it's easier to do that than, get on a plane and catch the red eyes and everything.
Yeah.
At the Seahawks, real quick question then. Sam Darnold, will he see the same success with the Seahawks and Cooper Kupp now as he saw last year with the Vikings? Is he worth $100 million?
He's not worth that much, but he's by all means not a terrible quarterback. I think he just needed – because who did he play with before the Vikings?
He's drafted by the Jets, and then he went to Carolina.
Right. So he had no good quality receivers besides maybe Garrett Wilson. I don't know if he was there.
I don't know if he was there then. Yeah.
So he's by all means not a terrible quarterback. He just needed better receivers to help him shine. But we saw what happened. Started off the season fantastic, MVP candidate off the bat already.
Yep.
But
fell off toward the end.
Fell off towards the end because there's only so much that
that
those good receivers can do for you.
I still say that the best receiving duo made him who he was. That JJ and Jordan Addison are better than Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
That's crazy.
That Jamar
was better than Justin Jefferson last season.
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are made better because of their quarterback. If you put any quarterback with JJ and Jordan Addison, they will instantly be better.
I don't think.
I think Burrow makes the other two
I don't know about that.
more than the receivers make.
T maybe, but not Jamar.
Now we're debating LSU receivers.
Anyways,
yes.
Then they go back home. The Niners come to town in the Indiana Knights uniform. Monday Night Football. They are in the Indiana Knights at nighttime in Indiana.
Woo! Finally.
Travaris Ward versus another old team.
Yep.
Is that a coincidence?
I don't know.
Colts versus Gus Bradley because Gus is now the Niners' assistant head coach.
Yep.
And the Colts are 7-3 versus Bradley as their defensive coordinator or head coach.
Yes, most of those as the head coach for the Jaguars before the losing streak in Duval.
Yes.
Then, speaking of which, they play the Jaguars at home in Week 17, which leads then to the matchup in Week 18.
Week 18 to be determined as of right now. Don't have a set time.
Right. Not to be determined the team,
yes,
but the exact day and time.
Because it could be
always
a big game because as of right now, it's the two top contenders for the AFC South.
Always, the Week 18 is always in across the board to be determined for all of the games.
Just in case something.
Yep. They want to be able to flex that wherever they want.
Right. This is in Houston, playing the team from Houston. If anyone has any last-minute gift ideas, there's like a New Year's present or a Christmas present, something like that.
It's a nice is it too early or too late? I guess that's a little too late of a Christmas vacation reference.
Yeah. Because
we haven't passed the midpoint of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you're a little late on the reference.
Yeah.
Maybe a little early. I don't know. It does say if anyone has any last-minute gift ideas. Right. So maybe you're just way too late. I don't know. It was a good Christmas reference in May. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's the Colts schedule. That's some of the breakdown. There will be more to come, but you know what? Later, with a soft start to season 4 with training camp beginning in late June or early July before the official kickoff in August as we get back ready for 25-26 Colts season. Who will be the quarterback? Will they finally be the quarterback of the future? How many running backs? Linebacker, DB ratio, all those questions may loom over the season ahead.
Yep, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.